Chip Cod Roach here, and I'm returning with the Ninja Turtles event for the weekend. I might do three, I may not. It's up to the viewers, because that one was really bad. Anyways, moving on. We're continuing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. And we've got a lot of replacements to go through. The tired looking, really shaggy, dirty hair looking April O'Neil has been replaced with a more realistic April O'Neil, Paige Turco. Michelangelo stayed the same. That's Robbie Risti. I forgot Leonardo's name. I forgot the actor's name. Brian Loshi, I believe. Donatello was replaced by Adam Carl. Not going to say the reasons. This is a children's show. And Lori Faso is replaced Raphael. And in this one, there are two added mutants to the movie, which was pretty cool because when I was a kid and saw the first movie, I was expecting Bebop and Rocksteady. And I did not get them. So in this, they have two mutants named Taka and Razor. One is a wolf, one is a snapping turtle. I think that's pretty cool. And then the professor that was disposing the ooze is Professor Perry. He is played by Warner. I forgot his first name. I think it's Bill Warner. He's not really a known actor, but he was really good in this. I was pretty impressed. And unfortunately, I do remember that there is a guest appearance by Vanilla Ice. That may have destroyed it. That might have actually. That might have been the conflict between the two movies. That might have pushed the first one over the second one's hump a little bit. So I'm going to obviously go over pictures and do all that fun stuff. There was a little bit more going on with this one as far as the story. Oh, I forgot about the useless delivery boy, Ernie Reyes Jr., also known as Keno. He was unfortunately introduced in this movie. He may have been replacing Casey Jones. I don't know what their thought process was, but this character was lame. There was no reason to bring in Keno. The professor, that makes sense. Keno, no. I'll get into that more. I'll start showing pictures before I get mad. Alright, so here's the first picture. So Keno, the pizza delivery guy, finds these robbers, thieves, whatever you want to call it. Kind of pulls an April O'Neil on this one. He sees them, and then he beats up four guys or so. Then a whole bunch more join in, and then the Turtles have to rescue him because he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing. He's doing their job. So, oh yeah, and to correct myself, it's David Warner that plays the part of the professor, not Bill. He just looks like a Bill. Sorry. My mistake. I pulled a Jeremy Johns. Okay, so I will go on to the next picture. Hopefully it'll be more important. In this movie, I am going to give one little spoiler alert here. The Ninja Turtles in this movie do not use their weapons. This movie, I believe, I could be wrong, is targeted more for a younger audience, where, as stupid as it sounds, the first Ninja Turtles movie may have been aiming for a higher age range. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you actually watch the movie, you will kind of see that it is targeted more for a younger audience. Okay, so I will get on to the next picture. Okay, so here is the next picture. The Turtles, because of their sewer being... Alright, so their sewer's being watched by the Foot Clan. There were some stragglers that were left over from the first one. So just from safety, they are now staying at a nice, happy April O'Neil's house. As you can see, she is nicely cleaned up. She has a smile on her face. Her hair's nicely done. She's dressed better.
I hope they bring landfalls back in.
And she feels the same way. So, moving on, the turtles are staying at her house just for safety precautions. But they are in the, let's say they are looking for a new hideout. And they do find a good one, so stay tuned.
Alexa, C-SPAN radio.
Okay, so from the first movie, I didn't give away the ending, but does Shredder come back, or is he dead? Well, from this picture, he is coming back. He wants to turn these turtles into turtle soup, and he wants to make some rat soup out of Splinter. So Shredder's coming back, and he's going to organize the Foot Clan, and he's back with a vengeance, and that's his hand that's coming out of the garbage dump, also known as Louis Anderson's ex-house. So we are now getting into the stage here where, yes, Shredder's saying, I'm back, and I want to kill these guys. Wish he went after Vanilla Ice. Okay, I will find the next picture to show you. I have a guest. This is Stimpy, and he has decided to join me. Yes, the giant can opener is back, and he made himself a new hat because his old one was dented. He is pretty much planning on not totally rebuilding the Foot Clan, but expanding them. He looks like he's ready to get some type of mutants to match the turtle's strength, or better yet, elevate it so he gets some stronger guys after him. So he's really angry. You got this angry metal man with all these knives attached to him, along with Captain Baldy in the background there. So he's pretty much planning his revenge on the turtles and the rat. So I will take you now to what April O'Neil is doing, developing the story of TGRI, aka the people that made the ooze, and they put it into our foods. I'll get to that. I'm back with April O'Neil and Prisoner Perry. Oh, I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. I got a little mixed up because of the orange jumpsuit. He looks like an ex-football player that played at the University of Miami. Okay, so anyways, April O'Neil is interviewing Perry. It's about the TGRI and the chemicals that were spilled and what it actually does. I'm not going to tell you right now because I've got a pretty cool picture in this to kind of show you what type of mutation it actually does. I'm going to get to that right now. So TGRI is actually planning on cleaning up the waste that is spilled in New York City. And these dandelions are as evidence of what this chemical actually does. It causes things to grow or mutate in that matter. So there's more chemical waste in New York State, as this movie's pointing out. So, yeah, New York's still pretty polluted. They're still cleaning stuff up. There is some truth to the Ninja Turtles movie.
Is that why you left?
Sure, why not? I'll go on to the next picture. Now that I'm looking at this picture, now this is the last canister that's being destroyed. Isn't there one off to the right that is still live? Or is that one empty? I can't really tell. It is empty. Okay. I was just told it's empty, so I'm going to take her word for it. It's empty. Okay, so Captain Baldy here this bald, angry man is stealing the last canister because they're planning on cooking up their own little mutants over at Shredder's laboratory of crap, his busted up warehouse. That's not $1. Crap is not that bad of a word. So they've got the professor here, and they're stealing the canister, and in the meantime, the Ninja Turtles are looking for a new place of their own. So there's a lot of real estate going on here in this movie. I wonder how much the agents are making off of them. I don't think they tell us. Alright, so this part is semi-important. Kino shows up with pizza at April's apartment. Kino's wandering around her apartment room, and he stumbles on one of the Ninja Turtles' foot. And he steps on it, and as you can tell, Raphael wants to beat him up for it. I wish they would have let him. That would have been the end of Kino in this movie, because he has no business being here. But this is how he meets the Turtles, and they join forces with
Alexa,
Kino, the king of boredom in this movie.
You know something it feels about this movie that you like so much?
The movie's fine, but Kino did not belong. He is the unwanted creature that they just decided to put in here. Next picture before I get mad. Okay, well, the professor made a Steve Urkel contraption. He's at Shredder's wonderful lair, and they now have the wolf and the snapping turtle in place. So, this ooze is about to mutate these guys. So we are shortly about to meet Taka and Razur. So these guys are going to be pretty cool. These guys are the Bebop and Rocksteady in the live action movies. They're just sort of taking their place. So we're getting ready for it. Hopefully now I can show you the Turtles' new lair themselves. So let me get to that. Let me just see if I can find it. But why did it do that again? Okay, well here is the Turtles' new hideout. It is in the sewer, but they found a underground train station. So as a kid I found this pretty cool, and even now it's cool, but I think I kind of like their own layer better. It was more of a sewer type of feel. This is like a I don't know, a nicer kind of a Donald Trump made up sewer, if that makes sense. This is kind of where Pauly Shore and Dave Coulier do their stand-up skits down here. So this is the Turtles' new thing here. They've got a train car. That would be I believe that would be the train lobby. So yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. But like I said, I definitely like the older one better. It had that sewer dark feel to it. This is more of a kindergarten light up room. Okay, I'll get to the next picture where the two mutants are now introduced. And here is Taco and Razor. These are the two mutants that Shredder brought in to crush the Turtles, pretty much. Do they do the job? We will find out. But knowing these two idiots, probably not. They are kind of dumb. So, let's see what happens. You have a Alec Baldwin personality with the wolf. And the turtle is kind of a... Ooh, I hate to bring him up again, but yeah, it would be like a Rob Gronkowski-ish type of deal here. Not a very bright... Well, they are babies. I guess I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So, okay, well, I'll just keep moving on here. Okay, so Raphael, as usual, went off on his own. So he brought Kino. He is going to be the inside foot soldier if he passes the test. Spoiler alert, he passes the test. So he is the inside foot soldier. He is now going to spy on Shredder and friends, pretty much. So he's going to spy on the giant can opener, Captain Baldy, and the two stupid mutants, Alec Baldwin and Rob Gronkowski.
The baby's not stupid.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so after Raph went off on his own with Lane Kino, Raph ended up getting captured. Yes, Shredder was part of that deal. So they wrapped up Raph, and they're pretty much trapping the Turtles. So this is the Turtles' first confrontation with the New Mutants, and I'm going to show that in just a couple minutes. Okay, so this is the first fight, mutant on mutant fight here. Turtle versus Turtle and Wolf. So, it doesn't go as planned for the Turtles. Obviously, they were caught by surprise. So, long story short, they sort of lose the fight, but Michelangelo stumbles on a sewer. So, they jump to safety, but before that, Donatello actually rescues the professor. So, they take the professor down in the sewer. He gets his nice white coat kind of stained up. He's not happy, but he is very happy at the talking turtles. So he tells them the story about the ooze, and that is coming up. So you are about to find out the secret of the snot. Oh, sorry, the ooze. Okay, so when they went down in the sewer, the professor and the turtles came up with an antidote to put these mutants back to their normal size. So they put it in donuts, which is not a bad idea. It's a good way to hide it. Now, somehow these buffoons are very stupid, but somehow they were able to find the cubes and to crush the donuts and figure out they were being tricked. This is where the director kind of has me at a pause and saying, "Well, how's that possible? They're two idiots. They're infants. How'd they figure that out?" So, anyways, they obviously don't fall for it. So then they just have a big rumble at Shredder's, and then they end up bouncing into a nightclub, and I'm about to show it right now. Well, the two mutants actually have gas, and for some reason now that's actually slowing the process down, so they are starting to go back to normal. So the professor finds a fire extinguisher that has a high thing of CO2 in it. So now they're going to find a way to shove that down their throats, bring in the CO2, then they're going to shrink them down to normal. And yeah, I know, this is a picture of the Turtles partying, having a good time with Vanilla Ice. So,
Not a fan?
not a fan. Not a fan at all. He is definitely a wannabe singer. This may have been his best song, because his first one wasn't very creative either. Ice Ice Baby he ripped off from Queen. So, now they're in a nightclub. They got the mutants under control, but now Shredder's got the canister of the ooze. So Shredder's got the canister, so that means nothing but trouble. So we are going to get to that right now. Well, like I said, Toka and Razor went back to their normal selves. Aren't they cute? A little turtle and a little wolf. So they're back to normal now. Shredder has been blown out by a speaker, but he has a little bit of the ooze. So what is he going to do with it? You're about to find out. Okay, so Shredder drinks the ooze. I don't want to know what it tasted like. So, the ooze pretty much made him into a super shredder. So, he ends up, he looks huge compared to the turtles, but his strength gets in the way. he gets that whole entire pier there to fall on him. So the turtles, of course, are in water, they can swim. He can't. So he gets crushed. So that's the end of Shredder. It's the end of the ooze. It's over. It's done. The Foot Clan probably ended up self-destructing in some way, shape, or form. They weren't that hard to defeat. So the turtles get out alive. They threw a party at the end, but they got seen at the club. So they end up being in the paper. So Splinter, of course, has a problem with that. But in the end, they all live happily ever after, and of course, they're friends with their new pal, Kino. So that is the end. So I will do my review. It'll be the same as the first. I did like the first movie a little bit better, but I'm going to give it the same grade, if that makes sense at all. So it'll be a C plus to B minus. It'll be around that same point. I watch them both the same time. So I watch them both pretty much 3 or 4 times a year, as I got made fun of by my camera lady.
You said 5.
Fine. 4 or 5 times a year. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So yeah, it's like a C plus to B minus rating. It's an enjoyable watch, but like I said, it's not a great movie. So this is the end of the review. So once again, thank you for watching, and please subscribe.